show me. I got some paperwork to show them. And when y'all leave about that motherfucker, please let a motherfucker know that the paperwork was present. And if they wasn't here, they shouldn't be saying a motherfucking thing about the cane. You hear me? I've been waiting on one special invited guest to show up, and he ain't showed up yet. But it was somebody who had something to say about me and had to question my, disposition to some of my cases. But he ain't here to see my paperwork. And I just don't like for a nigga to goddamn get fly, then get shot. You hear me? My nigga, I'm right here in the center. You hear me? So come on, if you got something to say about me. If you think it is when it ain't but one way to clear it up. Nigga, pull on up. Let me show you what you're looking for. I want to see who want to see it. You hear me? And if it ain't, and then after you see what you need to see, it's on you now to go straighten that shit up. Cause nigga, you done got too far in the job. You done got too much dip on your chip.
You want to? You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Shit, I got my mace.
I got no picture.
I got my mace. Y'all ready to fight? Or y'all want to go check his paperwork?
I've been waiting for a special invited guest to show up, but he hasn't yet. It was someone who had something to say about me, so I had to ask him. You know this position in some of my cases, but he isn't here to see my paperwork, so you're ready to fight if you want to. I have my Mason, I don't have a picture, and I have my money. Oh, you want to go check his paperwork? It's your boy Big Man T to prove to the world that he isn't a snitch. I hosted his paperwork party. Boosie didn't come up, but some other people did participate. As you can see, Fetty Cent was paying attention, and he didn't hesitate to make fun of them both. Boosie and I have been putting on a show these past few days. What began as a ridiculous comment from T in 2020 turned into a major issue to this day. These two are definitely no longer friends as a result of that incident, and 50 Cent took advantage of the occasion to mock their argument and the snitching accusations that Boosie had made.
We caught no gun case, two died, and my lawyer said, well, I can make everything go away. That's the only time I done never said or gave no information about nobody.
Told him.
With the T.I situation, if he did that, you're a fucking rat too. I don't spare no motherfucking body. Because if you doing anything wrong, you doing anything criminal-wise, and you cooperate with law enforcement to get you out of trouble, that means you're cooperating, that means you're...
Which we have already discussed. Boosie Badass and Tip had a falling out just last week. To put things in perspective, here's exactly what transpired between them. An episode from T's 2020 Expeditiously podcast resurfaced online the other day for some reason, and it quickly became the internet's trending topic in this lengthy episode featuring a few guests.
No, because it ruined everything.
Because of that.
It ruined everything. I woke up with my motherfucking phone, everything full. My real fans like, Boosie, you the last one left. They like, you cannot put this album out. Like, my uncle OG nigga called me. Nigga, that album ain't coming out.
I took us back to his early years when he was his cousin too. They pulled him over with a lot of guns in the car, as if they were talking about the military, so we didn't find a gun case. My lawyer said, well, I can make everything go away. They're the only time I never see it again, with no information about anybody. So you can already picture T. I heard his attorney tell the police that the pistols belonged to his cousin Toots rather than him, and that was sufficient for T. I helped clear his record. He got out quite easy, but little did he realize that this very incident would come back later to bite him. As soon as the video came around and people heard the news, the community started discussing whether or not T.I was a snitch, and he asked the streets, that's a snitch move. If you ask someone else, it's not considered snitching. However, Boosie Badass, one of the streets members, swiftly condemned T for what he did. However, this was a snitch move, and he wasn't afraid to tell the world about it either. Recently, DJ Vlad invited him to a show and asked him a lot of questions, as he usually does. Of course, we all knew that he was going to ask him about T.I, and the boy Boosie lost his temper. He went all out on Tiffany and told him with the T situation, if you did that, you're a rat. I don't spare any bad because if you're doing anything wrong, you're doing anything criminalized, and you cooperate with law enforcement to get yourself out of trouble, that means you're covering, that means you're a wreck. But that wasn't all. Boosie did not stop there. He also called off the recent mixtape that he and Boosie doesn't work with snitches, and there's no way he would release a mixtape with someone who works with the popo. He later told Vlad no, saying that it would ruin everything. I woke up with my phone full of my true fans who are like, "You can't put this album out like music." Some people agree. One comment stated, "Boosie is one of the few people I can trust when it comes to speaking against rats. He was tested as hard as the justice system could test someone, and he never told on anyone." Jewel immediately dropped a whole joint project with T. They trust Boosie's judgment. If anyone knows a thing or two about rats, it has to be Boosie Badass. When I learned about the T's past, I had to respect it, and General Boocies, who is recognized in the game as a person who will always keep it real. He didn't go easy on Birdman's brother Terrence, Gangster, Williams when he snitched on his dead homie. Why would he lose that same fire when it comes to tips? Thus, this generated a lot of controversy online, and many really started questioning if T.I don't know if you pull up OG Uncle, who needs to see it, but I have my paperwork ready to show Paula my number and address to get on. The ball was in his court, and people were waiting for his response. After a few days, we saw T post a lot of stuff on his social media. He came back with a message for Boosting, telling him that he has his papers right with him in case anyone wants to see him. If you ask Tip, he doesn't have anything to hide. The internet and talk about it, but you've never talked to me about it, which makes me think you've been keeping your heart to yourself the entire time. I would never talk about certain disrespect for your name or reputation if Homer and the message continued to do so. It was obvious who this message was intended for, and Boosie was well aware that T, in order to support his claim, I was only discussing him. I even planned a whole event to show the world that he is not a rat. I threw his release papers party the other day, and he would show his release papers to anyone who wanted to look at them. As you can imagine, he was expecting his friend and partner Boosie to show up. He even shared a picture of the papers he brought to the party on Instagram with the caption, "FYI Kane, nobody who got their name in other people's paperwork questioned me about mine. I got it on me. We can have a paperwork party, pull up or shut up." And that video of T, he hasn't shown up yet. But it was someone who had something to say about me and had to question my position in some of my cases, so he's not here to see my paperwork. One of the guys who did show up was Charleston White, who was somehow involved in the drama between T. He was the one who initially brought Boosie and me together because he started a beef with Boosie and Tip's sons. However, now that he's cruised next to the location of the paperwork party, he made some amusing remarks, saying, "You better fight. I got my Mason. I got no picture. I got my y'all ready to fight. Oh, y'all want to go check his paperwork." However, Charleston was the only one to comment on this situation. DJ Vlad, who somewhat provoked Boosie, was correct to slam T. I agree with Boosie on this one, because you said what you did, so why do we need paperwork if you got it? Did you lie or something? Did you say that? Then, there are people who are paying attention to the whole thing, and they just think it's funny. 50 Cent is one of the guys from the rap world who just loves to make fun of people out here causing drama, and boy, did he stir things up with this one. 50 had a really good editor who made a whole video about boasting T. I believe he went up there and just got the token, innocent or guilty, criminal or citizen, that could get them at any time for any crime. Sake, look if it's a sir, did you see such and such dude, such, and said, "Oh, wait a minute only." He uploaded a sketch on his Instagram profile that depicts Boosie and T arguing as if they were on Judge Mathis. The lawyer said, "You know I could make everything go away 2 feet with your meals, so why admit to the after flight, bro?" And I had to tell him, "I took all the charges you got. If you can walk away free and put it on me, goddamn right I want to ask the authorities to give you a pass, because I'll be damned if they come to extradite me from here. I'm going to hold lady in all them damn times, all this damn time for 20. After years of holding that in, it finally came out. On one side, DJ Vlad's Boosie was inserted, and on the other, T from his podcast was spying on his cousin as well. To be completely honest, the fans found the entire situation amusing, but it also highlights how immature these two are for allowing this to happen in the first place. What do you think about their petty feud over this snitching allegation? Was 50 Cent right to clown the two of them, or were our Boosie and T.I just too old for this kind of stuff? I could have kept his mouth shut, and nobody would even know that this toot situation never happened. Lucy could have talked about something else with Black, and the list goes on. That's why we rig comments like two uncles arguing over who drank the last beer, Jude flexing indictments. And if they've already dropped the ball, please share your thoughts in the comments area below. If you enjoy this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more hip-hop material. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. As always, remember to be honest.